Galaxy. I'm Chris Pirillo, and like most of you, I grew up listening to music on records, actual physical discs that spun on something called a turntable. They may still be called turntables, but I'm not an audiophile. I'm not. Nor will I ever be an audiophile. I was thrilled just to be able to listen to anything. Whatever we had on hand. Okay, not whatever, because my parents had some records that, quite honestly, I don't know if they ever listened to. I talked about a couple of recent acquisitions from Galaxar, some LPs that I picked up, and I don't necessarily plan on spinning those LPs on a frequent basis. They're more just for collector value. But I never had any hope, not even a New Hope. Actually, I did recently get a New Hope, but I'm getting to that in a second. In getting some kind of audio equipment that I would care to showcase 24/7, specifically a record player. And then this was released. A limited edition, super limited edition, apparently only available at independent record stores. A Cruiser Deluxe turntable by Crosley. Now, before you say anything, because as soon as I posted an image of this acquisition, some of y'all were like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, no, what are you doing? Don't play records on that. It'll ruin records. The music won't sound great. You'll ruin everything. It's horrible. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sure there may be ways to improve the experience, but I'm probably not going to start collecting vinyl to listen to, necessarily. I know, some people would argue, but the grooves, man. The grooves in the record. Highs and lows, man. No clipping and stuff. I'm trying to sound like an audiophile, but obviously I'm not. I don't even know the lingo. So I was just happy that this was available because I definitely want to keep this out. Now, I was lucky enough to get another Crosley record player that you may have seen in the vlog when we were still producing them for everybody, apart from just those who continue to support us on GeekFamilyFun.com. Jedi hasn't necessarily played with those records frequently because she's not quite ready for records yet. But my mom has brought some of my childhood records with her when she's visited, and we've played a couple of them for Jedi, and trust me, those records were old. They were old when my mom was young. So I want to take a look at this up close and personal, knowing full well that it's not the best record player on the planet. It's just the only Star Wars one that I could get a hold of. And I guess they also released a record with John Williams music, another limited edition. I missed that. I totally missed that. In fact, the store clerk sucked when he was checking me out. I mean, not like, you're getting a record player, cool. No, not like checking me out. I mean, like, allowing me to purchase this from the store. I asked if they had the Christmas album, Christmas in the Stars, and they didn't. He said he only saw it like once in his life, which isn't a surprise because it's rare. That's the one that I am looking for my collection. If we play any music on this record player, it would likely be on records that I would not mind getting damaged. And so those would likely be acquisitions at the thrift store, and just for a few bucks, or some old records that may not work very well from our original collection. And when I say not work very well, I remember having the Star Wars album, and it had a skip. And it would skip in the same place, of course, a record skip, right? And that was just annoying. It sucked. But we had no choice. I mean, the fact that we had a Star Wars record was awesome. So here we go. I'm totally ruining the collectible value. But, you know, if you've got a Star Wars record player and you're not showcasing like this, you're really missing out, I think. It looks so much better outside the box. And I should also note, as I open it up for everybody to see, this was released also in conjunction with the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. So, there we go. That's how it looks on the inside. I like the fact that they do have this particular disc to insert for 45s that might need to be accommodated, because back in the day, you were lucky to have a piece like that, or the record player itself, the table, would have some kind of pop-up thing, or you had to get a little attachment for it. So it's nice to have that built in. I don't know if that's standard for record players. I'm obviously not an aficionado. I was really only compelled to get this specifically because Star Wars. That is really the only reason. If you missed the list of I guess, features on this particular record player. Pretty simple. 3-speed turntable, Bluetooth enabled, pitch control, portable audio ready. Sorry about that. Stereo speakers, RCA output, and a headphone jack. Like I said, I'm not an audiophile. This has just about everything that I might need in it. Certainly, you know, for portability's sake. The only thing that I wish they did, and this was my other issue with the other Crosley that I got, is figure out a different way of being able to manage the external AC adapter. I think this is a little sloppy on their part because there's no place to stick it, right? I mean, you got your inputs and outputs and whatnot, but I just carry this around separately. It just ruins the whole portability thing in my estimation. So that was a total miss on their part. Not that I plan on carrying it too far outside the home, but it is certainly nice to have. And now Jedi will be able to play her music or spoken word on this if she is interested at all in getting any kind of records. And I think she will if we find the right records, or if I'm able to find the right records for her. Spares, duplicates, ones that I'm not worried about getting ruined. It happens. I know it happens. But, you know, life's too short not to have a Star Wars record player. That's what I believe. So, it's awesome to have another collectible thing. Collectible? I was going to go with collectability. Another item of importance in the realm of collectability. A collectible that I also wanted to just keep showcased, something that has form and function, and even though it's not the best thing out there, it is the best thing that I have and that I wanted. So thank you everybody for tuning in. You know, keep your eye out for some spare records, you know, some of those that aren't keepers that could get destroyed, because I may be interested in spinning them, especially if they're tied to my fandoms. At this point, however, I'm going to say, may the Force be with you.